Hi, I'm Macaulay Culkin, and this is the WIRED Autocomplete Interview. Who was Macaulay Culkin exactly? Alrighty. Who is Macaulay Culkin? Named after. I'm named after, I think, Lord Thomas Babington Macaulay. He's buried at Westminster Abbey. I brought my brother there, and I just started dancing. He was like, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Look down." And I was dancing on Macaulay's grave. It was kind of a thing I did with my namesake. I'm Macaulay Carson Culkin. But actually, that was the way I was born. My full name is Macaulay Culkin. Because if anyone asks me, "Excuse me, are you Macaulay Culkin?" I can say, Macaulay Culkin is my middle name. So, check my wiki. Who is Macaulay Culkin going to play in Fallout? I wish I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you. What I can tell you is that it has something to do with Fallout New Vegas. No, he's an important part of who the Ghoul and Lucy run into in Vegas, in the Wastelands. Non-spoiler, it has something to do with Kaiser's Legion. That's right, I pronounced it just right. Okay, who was Macaulay Culkin in The Nutcracker? I was the prince. I was the prince of The Nutcracker. In the first act or whatever, I'm the prince, and then I become the Nutcracker, which is my nickname for Brenda at home. Just kidding, I don't call her that. I have much worse nicknames. So yeah, I was in The Nutcracker. I used to dance ballet. Acting just was coming hard and fast, and it paid more, which is a good thing because if I stuck with ballet dancing, I'd be a bitter ex-dancer, probably opening up a ballet shop and some strip mall in New Jersey or something, in desperate need of hip replacement surgery. Yeah. So, who was Macaulay Culkin? Stunt double in Home Alone. His name was Larry. He was a little person. He was much older than me. And I just remember I was doing my wardrobe fitting in the wardrobe department. And I turned the corner and there's just this guy. And he's dressed exactly like me. I'm like, "Oh, hey, hi." And he's like, "Hey, I'm Larry." I'm like, "Oh, wow. Like, gee whiz, you're dressed just like me." He goes, "Yeah, I'm a stunt double." Because there's not a lot of stunt kids in this world. I think that's because of insurance. Holy sh! All right. Can Macaulay Culkin sing? I can karaoke under the table kind of thing. I don't think you'd be seeing me playing Freddie Mercury anytime soon. I like to sing in the shower and so forth. Would you like me to do Take On Me by a-ha right now in front of you? Because that's not going to happen because everyone forgets the high note and it always messes them up during karaoke. Can Macaulay Culkin drive? I've never had a driver's license before in my entire life. I'm 45 years old. I originally chalked it up to me being a New Yorker, and that's kind of what New Yorkers do, and so forth, but I haven't lived in New York in a long time. Brenda and I, we had this agreement. We don't make New Year's resolutions ever. And we made a New Year's resolution. I was going to get my driver's license, and she was going to hire a wedding planner. We're not married. And yeah, I still don't drive, so. When did Macaulay Culkin host SNL? Oh, I hosted it in 91. You know who my musical guest was? David Bowie. Yeah, that's right. That's how old I am. I kind of did it in a pretty cool year. You still had the Dana Carveys and the Phil Hartmans, that era. But you had Mike Myers and Chris Rock and Spade and Sandler and all that kind of stuff. So it was a nice kind of bridging the gap kind of thing. My father, who was insane, he made me do the whole show without cue cards. So I had to memorize the entire show. And the crazy part is that even when you do the rehearsals and stuff like that, there's still sketches that they don't make it to the live show. Yeah, I did memorize those, too. Needless to say, he made a lot of fans with the rest of the cast there because they had to memorize their lines, too.
Do you know what his reasoning was?
My father's reasoning is that he hated when he could see somebody reading their cue cards like that. And so he didn't want me doing that. To each their own, I guess. And by their own, I mean his own. Macaulay Culkin. Tattoos. Yeah, I do have a tattoo. I have a matching tattoo with my goddaughter. It's a little spoon on my right arm over here. I steal spoons. It's a kind of a thing. She already was tatted up. She still is. She's a model. She's starting to go to fancy parties and stuff like that. And I one of the advice to her, don't ruin anything, right? 'Cause, when you steal a spoon, it doesn't really ruin anything. Don't forget to take something with you. When you go to these fancy parties or whatever, take something with you. And don't forget to put it up your sleeve. So we have matching tattoos up our sleeve of these spoons. My kids really love it because they still believe in magic and they're young enough. I palm a spoon and go, ugh, and I pull spoons out of my tattoo. So they think it's a magic tattoo. Oh, jeez. All right. Does Macaulay Culkin die in My Girl? Gosh, spoiler alert. Jeez. For a 34-year-old movie. Yeah, I died by bee sting. Also, and I know that I make it sound really sweet, like, oh, I got stung by a bee. Like, no, it was like a whole hive. They actually released a bunch of bees on me. That's not a joke. I got the part, and the only way that it would go through is that I had to go to an allergist and get like prick tests, Daycoms, all that stuff. They put this stuff on my fingers that smell like the queen bee. They're like, oh, they're gonna be attracted to your fingers. So they were like, just wave them in front of your face. They released like thousands of bees onto me that wanted to have sex with my fingertips, and I was a whole, just an innocent 10-year-old. That shit would not fly now. I'm telling you, fly. Get it? 'Cause bees fly. It's actually one of those things. The bee handler warned me. He goes, guess what? Bees fly slower than people run. And I said, does that count for 10-year-old children? Does Macaulay Culkin like wrestling? Yeah, I love wrestling. You kidding me? I'm a lifelong wrestling fan. I'm actually a well-known wrestling fan, too. Recently, I went to one of the early Raws when they moved over to Netflix. I got a big pop from the crowd. They showed me in the audience. Woo, yay! And then I was going out to a Raw a couple of weeks later, and I was on the plane with CM Punk. I was like, hey, Phil, hey, what's going on? I said, I'm going to Raw tomorrow. I said, good luck in there. He's like, oh, thanks. Oh, he goes, just want to let you know that me and the boys in the back, we thought it was really funny that you got a bigger pop than Roman Reigns from the audience. Did Macaulay Culkin buy the Home Alone house? No, I did not buy the Home Alone house. I mean, it would have been funny if I did. Actually, you know what would be funnier? If I bought the house next door to it, and then was just mowing my lawn every day, just like a cigar in my mouth, kind of just like, tummy hanging out, and all that stuff. Oh man, I've heard stories about that house. Oh, I'd avoid that. Man, it's been broken into so many times. Oh, I tell you what, yeah. So I did not buy the Home Alone house, although there was an opportunity there to turn it into some kind of Airbnb experience, including me. I decided to kind of steer away from the owning the Home Alone house vibe, I guess. But also, let me know if you're interested in investing. Is Macaulay Culkin a nice guy? Yeah. I mean, aren't I pleasant right now? Tell me I'm pleasant. I feel like I'm a nice enough guy. I try to be courteous and professional when it comes to the work environment and stuff. And my kids like me. So, there's that, I go over really well with the 3 and 4-year-old crowd. That's for sure. Is Macaulay Culkin a gamer? I used to be. I don't really have a lot of time for games so much anymore. Probably the last new game off the shelf that I actually played from pillar to post was Mass Effect 3. So, I'm already kind of like, that's like a decade ago. Don't get me wrong. I still circle around, I still do some of the Mario Karts. Me and the lady will lay in bed doing the Mario Kart thing every once in a while. It's very sexy. I'm Tanuki Mario and she's like Peach, that's just the game though. Is Macaulay Culkin friends with Joe Pesci? I mean, I'm friendly with Joe Pesci. I'm not even sure if he has a cell phone, to be honest with you. He actually golfs with one of my neighbors who lives around the corner. And I keep on saying, oh, you should tell him to just ring my doorbell. Honestly, it'd be freaking amazing. All of a sudden, just like I look at my little doorbird or something like that. It's like, hey, it's Joe. It's like, oh, gosh, you can come on in. I'd have my kids set up traps for him and stuff, He's 82 years old. I'm sure they'd go over very well with him. I have nothing but kind things to say about him. He's a nice guy. Macaulay Culkin. Macaulay Culkin. Home Alone tour. Oh yeah, I'm doing a tour. I'm going around to a couple cities. We show the movie, and you get to watch it with other like-minded people who actually also like the movie. It's one thing to watch it in your living room and just laugh at those jokes. It's another to be in a theater full of people that are also laughing at the same jokes. I do kind of a fireside chat / Q&A afterward, which is a lot of fun. I tell you some factoids about the movie and everything. Sometimes I'll pull your kids up on stage and ask them trivia questions, really bad trivia questions with really even worse prizes, but that are on brand. If I'm coming through your town, you should come see it. 35-year anniversary, so there you go. Macaulay Culkin. Halloween. Yeah, we love Halloween in our house. Last year, I went as Joe Burrow, the quarterback of the Cincinnati Bengals, because everyone says that he looks like me, because I don't look like him. This year, I asked my oldest, I asked him what he wants to be. He goes, I want to be Batman. I'm like, all right, cool. And what do you want to be? Robin. And I'm like, okay, what do you want me to be? He goes, a toilet. Swear to God, he asked me to be a toilet. So I dress as a toilet. The best dang toilet outfit I could put together with a plunger hat and everything. I have an idea for next year, but that's for next year. Macaulay Culkin. John Candy. I don't eat candy on the toilet. No. Oh, no, never mind. John Candy. Yeah, the actor. Yes, I worked with him. I did 3 films with him, actually. And also, I was just in that documentary, I Like Me. It was a wonderful love letter to him, and I think it really did him justice. It's a nicer way to go out than Wagons East. The producers and everyone, they wanted to consider it his last movie, which I think is kind of apt. I think it really did, it really painted a really touching story of him. Macaulay Culkin. Zootopia 2, yeah! Me and my lady, Brenda, we're in Zootopia 2. We take a bite of that forbidden fruit. We play brother and sister. I'm doing the meow thing because actually we play cats in the movie. Usually when you do animated stuff, you record in separate booths and they kind of just jumble it all together later. This time they actually had us like in the booth at the same time, just kind of goofing off and stuff. I love doing stuff that I can show my kids, and so they love the Zootopia franchise, and they do not recognize our voices whatsoever because they're children of a certain age. They just, they don't like these bad cats. I'm like, yeah, someday you're gonna love these bad cats. So. What was Macaulay Culkin? That's what my mother's been asking for years. What was Macaulay Culkin's first role? Well, not counting some studio theater I did in New York, if you're asking for my first film role, it was in a movie called Rocket Gibraltar. It was Burt Lancaster. It's one of his last films. Had a bunch of New York theater actors, like Bill Pullman, Patricia Clarkson, stuff like that. I just remember they thought it was really cute that like, oh, there's this, like, I think I was 6. I was 6 years old, and like I was sitting down on a little like director's chair next to Burt Lancaster, who was like, 80 something. And then, he thinks it's funny. He turns to me and he goes, hey kid, do you have any advice for me? I'm like, hee 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 hee. I go, yeah, don't step on my lines. and he was like, all right, this kid's a goer. This kid's going somewhere. What color are Macaulay Culkin's? Oh, I thought it was going to be about bowel movements. Okay. What color is Macaulay Culkin's eyes? They're mostly blue. It depends on what I'm wearing. Sometimes they turn a little gray. Sometimes they turn a little green. But yeah, I got blue eyes. Yeah. So what band was Macaulay Culkin in? I was in a band called the Pizza Underground, which is exactly what you think it is. It's a Velvet Underground cover band, but except we changed all the lyrics to be about pizza. So it's like instead of waiting for the man, it'd be waiting for the delivery man. Instead of I'll be your mirror, it's I'm Little Caesar. Things like that. It was one of those bands that was quite relentless. We would rhyme mushrooms with mushrooms. Before every show, I go, hey, you guys ready for some pizza songs? And the crowd go, yeah, great, because the hamburger show's across the street. We played Seattle a number of times. We played all over the place, but we played Seattle, and about the 5th time we played there, I said, hey, how many people here were at our last show? And like 90% of the audience went, yeah. And I go, okay, get ready for the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we hit our ceiling pretty much. I mean, it was a gig that had a shelf life, but it was a ton of fun. Got to play pretend band for a while. Them's all them boards. Not surprised you guys are asking a lot of those questions. I mean, it's funny because I don't know what questions you're going to ask because I already have all the answers. Except for the poop thing. I don't normally Google myself, so it's interesting to see what you guys are fishing around for. Yeah, it was good times. I'm going to get to keep those boards too, though. I'm taking those home with me.